World sensation Gangnam Style singer Psy has decided not to sue a restaurant owner in LA who renamed his restaurant Gangnam Style. The Koreatown restaurant was previously known as Soju Town and reopened last month after a brief closure. I guess he's trying to capitalize off the popularity of the name. But the interesting thing about this story is that the story is presented as Psy deciding not to sue because the restaurant is using the same name as his song.
Yeah.
But the thing is about this story is that you can't copyright a song title.
Yeah.
So he can't sue.
I was going to ask you, is there any, does he have the right to sue over the name of a song?
No, he doesn't. He does not according to what I was able to find online. Anyway, because I researched this before for another thing, and you can't sue. The most you can do with a song title is maybe you can you can't copyright it. You can trademark something maybe if your brand is associated with a certain phrase, a certain catchphrase or something strongly enough, then you can trademark it, but you can't copyright it.
Okay.
You can copyright lyrics, but not just like three words that come together. Yeah. So, and Gangnam is a district in Seoul. So, Gangnam Style would be like saying, I don't know,
style or Soho style or whatever.
Yeah, or Bronx style or whatever, right? So, anyway, the thing that kind of I thought the most interesting about this story is the way they're presenting it, as if he had the option to sue. I think
he's quite benevolent of him.
Yeah. I mean, what a cool guy. He's not sue happy. He's not sue happy.
Yeah.
But what I think actually happened, I'll betcha.
He tried to sue.
Exactly. It's probably his legal team probably looked into it and thought, you know what, we can't sue anyway because there's no law. Yeah, there's no law about this. And it's like, you know what? I'll let you have that name. I'll let you have that name. Yeah, you can go ahead and use it.
You have to pay me some extra for it, but I'll let you use it.
I wonder if this guy's restaurant really, I wonder if business picked up because he changed his name to Gangnam Style.
Well, yeah, I'm sure it has. You put a few pictures of Psy up there and pump the music in.
Well, see, now you're talking about copyright, though, right?
Is it illegal to put up pictures of famous people in a restaurant?
Without their permission? Maybe. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
I know copyright law is really tricky, Playing his music, I think you got to pay licensing fees, like legally speaking.
Okay.
Clubs have to do that. They have to pay licensing fees for their music and stuff. So, restaurant, club.
Yeah, maybe.
Either way.
You get the Muzak channel, the 24-hour Gangnam Style music channel. You're paying for that anyway.
Gangnam Muzak.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
24 hours. 24/7.
So anyway, that's the story. What do you guys think of this? Is this being turned into, is it being turned into a news story when there actually is none, or what? So leave your comments.
Yeah. And speaking of things being turned into news, you know The Onion, right?
The Onion, yes.
Well, The Onion ran this story recently about...
not the vegetable.
No, the actual Onion website.
I thought you were talking about like...
The vegetable, no.
The vegetable onion.
No, not
the website.
Not stuff in your fridge, no. The Onion website, they ran a story, The Sexiest Man Alive for 2012, and they named Kim Jong Un as the sexiest man. Quoting things like, with his devastatingly handsome round face and his boyish charm, his strong sturdy frame, and he's every woman's dream come true. And it goes on about, his other physical attributes. And apparently the the People's Daily saw this article and took this for a real news story.
Yeah.
And they put their own version of it in their news as Kim Jong Un being the sexiest man alive, they put a 55 photograph slideshow on their
55 photographs.
Apparently so, yeah. On their
Nice.
webpage.
All of him.
Yep. Showing his,
Wow.
devastatingly handsome smile and
Wow.
his what would they have here? His impeccable fashion sense. That Korean uniform. I mean, that's the babe magnet right there.
Yeah.
I've got 3 of them in my closet actually. Only for clubbing, all right? Only for clubbing.
Chicks love guys in uniforms.
Yep. Especially
Really.
North Korean
Absolutely,
uniforms.
North Korean uniforms. That
Yeah.
drab, it's not even olive. I don't know what color that is, but yeah, well, different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
You know what I'd like to know about this story is, and I haven't seen any reports about that, is how the people themselves, responded to it. Like, because this was in China, right?
Yep.
So were the Chinese who read the story, were they like, what the,
Yep.
or were they like, yeah, finally the world is recognizing him for this sexy god that he is. Which one was it? Was it?
I'm thinking more that, the sexy god,
Come on.
Well, you never know.
And how about those people who, even in the States, there's got to be at least one person. There's got to be one in 300 million people who think that he's sexy. There's got to be one, right?
At least.
Okay.
I mean,
so
there's someone for everyone, isn't there? Yeah.
That's what they say. So, what I'd like to know is how does that person feel now? That because they actually find him hot, and people are actually it's a parody or a satire.
Well, yeah.
And so their taste is being made fun of. Really, they must.
Well, if they do find him the sexiest man alive, they probably are not vocalizing that to their friends anyway. So it's kind of the little secret in the closet,
Right.
Maybe. Anyways, let us know what you guys think. Kim Jong Un, sexy or not?
I say sexy.
Sexy.
So, well, here's a story you're gonna like.
Okay.
If you guys think that Darren is devastatingly handsome,
Well, I don't have my uniform on right now, but next time we'll have the Korean uniform
but even
on.
without the uniform, but with the uniform, actually that ties into my story. If you think that he is devastatingly handsome, Scientific American might have discovered the reason for that. They did a study, and that study found that people with personality traits known as the dark triad, what that means is narcissism, Machiavellianism, and psychopathy. The people who possess these 3 traits are more likely to be attractive because they're better able than others to use their clothing and their makeup and their hairstyles to make themselves look attractive. Now that distinction here is important. They're not better looking naturally. They look like anybody else naturally.
Yeah.
But the dark triad people, it just sounds funny. The dark triad people, they're maybe more concerned with fashion or whatever. For some reason, whatever reasons, they are able to use those tools to make themselves look better.
Well, you said one of the main things was narcissism.
Narcissism, yeah.
That in itself should, you're overly conscious of the way you look. You're probably spending more time looking at how your hair is set, how your clothes are set. That alone,
absolutely.
I think, when you spend more time on the fashion, you're probably going to look better. Not always, but probably. So that part at least makes sense.
Well, yeah, but
the psycho part doesn't really,
Well, no, it does.
Okay.
In a way, it kind of makes sense. The psychopathy, right, means basically that you don't really care about the world at all. Really, I mean, you see things, you see people as instruments rather than as people with feelings, right? You don't have empathy and so on. Like there's a whole list of what psychopath really is, but that's part of it, right? Being focused on yourself so much would reduce your. I mean, like people who are empathetic to other people.
I think that that being disconnected from everyone else, I guess you'd care less about their opinion, which would make kind of confidence in you. But, doesn't that kind of go against the whole idea of being narcissist? I mean, you care too much about yourself. You care about how other people view you, how you look, and that. So, I mean...
Yeah, but, is a narcissist making themselves look good because they care about what other people think? Or because they love themselves and want to make themselves look good for their own appreciation? Or the psychopath here comes into play. Look, we know that the world, as much as people wish it weren't that way, the world operates on superficialities a lot more than we want it to. Okay? Yeah. I mean, and then whether you even realize it or not, you are more susceptible to somebody who's good looking. There have been hundreds of other studies that have been done on this, and good looking people get better jobs. Good looking people, are better treated in the world by others. Even though there's
good looking girls at bars get more drinks.
They get more drinks. Or they get all the drinks they want, really. I mean, they just got to ask for it.
Yeah.
And so this is the reality of life. A psychopath who realizes that and doesn't really give a shit about what other people think of them is going to say, you know what? I realize that this is how the world operates. I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to go out and get the nicest clothes I can. I'm going to do my hair up and have it done every 3 weeks instead of every 3 months.
Yeah.
A girl would put on, makeup, learn how to put on makeup artfully, etc. And might work a little harder at getting a nice body so that she could show it off and so on. And so it could be that they're literally using all of these things simply as tools. They don't really necessarily care that they look good for anybody, but that they realize looking good gets you this much more in life.
All right. So how did this study actually go about showing this fact?
Well, that's a good question. The way they did it is when the participants came in, when the respondents got there in their everyday attire, they took a picture of them immediately.
Yeah.
So this is how you present yourself to the world, generally speaking.
Yeah.
Today could be an off day, but over enough people, the randomalities kind of even out. So they take a picture of people when they first get there. Then they remove all their makeup. They change their hairstyles to very plain, just pulled back and in a ponytail or whatever.
Yeah.
They change their clothes into, kind of drab clothes, right? And then they re-rated these people again. And they noticed that without all the individual enhancements, they didn't look any better than anybody else.
So they all were kind of on the same level.
They're all pretty much on the same level, yeah. But the people who ended up really making themselves, you see sometimes you see people, you go like she looks completely plain one day, and then you see her at a function somewhere where she's completely made up, like, oh my god, this girl is super hot all of a sudden, right? So I never noticed that.
I think I've had the opposite effect on us a few times. You wake up in the morning and go, my god, that's really plain.
Oh, I don't do that.
No? I'm
saving myself.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for marriage. Yeah.
I'll save myself next week.
So anyway, so the thing is that that's how they rated it, is the people who went up the highest in difference between just looking average to super hot. They did a psychological test and tended to have these tendencies. Tended to have these traits.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they did it, and one person suggests these results suggest that mean people are just as ugly as the rest of us. They're just better at fooling everyone into thinking they're hot. And this, to me, is a pretty sour statement.
Yeah.
Isn't it? I mean, they're more focused on, are we really uglier than them? So anyway, that's
but yeah, as you said, just it seems a bit bitter, perhaps.
it does. I mean, and you know what's really funny in a world again where people love to go. I mean, we could turn this video into a 20-hour video because it's if what you're not really seeing here on the surface is that people's focus in the world, as much as we like to deny it, is looks. We focus on looks way too much. Even this person's bottom line conclusion to this amazing study, they're just as ugly as us.
Yeah, but just another reason why they're not really hot.
Yeah.
They're just narcissists and Machiavellian, so take that away from them and they're just the same as us. I mean,
and you know what that does too? Now, I don't know who this I'm not going to say the name, but this person who made this comment, I'll bet you she's not looking so hot herself. I'll bet you. And the reason I say that is because this provides people who have given up an excuse. So next time, someone goes to the mall in their sweats and their Crocs, well, I'm not psycho. That's why I dress like this. If I was psycho, I'd make myself have to look hot. So they're able to say, hey, you know what? All those hot girls, those who go to the gym and work out and make themselves look good and dress up, they're all psychos. Yeah. So it's an excuse to stay stay ugly.
It's an excuse not to try.
Yeah, exactly. It's an excuse not to try, and that's the sad part.
But then again, when you see people going to shopping malls in baggy sweats and Crocs and complaining about other people, to me that's just another form of psycho.
Well, the truth is, aren't we all psychotic to an extent? I mean, we all have psychotic parts to us, right? And we just, some people hide it better. Everybody has a psychotic element to their personality.
I don't disagree. But now apparently we don't have to hide it.
There you go.
At least I don't. But